Thank you, Mr. Blickenstaff. This is Mr. Schrader here. I'm going to walk you through the SLO Calculator spreadsheet and just show you how to use it. The goal is that this will make creating your SLO simpler and more transparent for each of you. So we're going to start up here in the top left corner where it says Student Breakdown. This is where you're going to input how many students you have in your high bucket, how many students you have in your medium bucket, and how many students you have in your low bucket. And before we do that, I want to point you to this part down here. You only need to input numbers into the yellow boxes. Everything else is auto-calculated. So you're going to put numbers here, and then you're going to put numbers over here in these ranges, and I'll explain those here in just a second. So let's go back to our student breakdown. So let's say in the high section, I have 8 students. In the medium section, I have 15. Actually, let's make that a little bit smaller. Let's say in the medium section, I have 9. In the low, I have 6. So in this fictitious class, I have 23 total students. Now, if you notice, as I change these numbers, the numbers down here change as well. So let's go back up to low. I'm going to change that 6 to a 15 and see how it impacts the other numbers. So as soon as I hit enter, it changed these numbers down here in the highly effective, effective, improvement necessary, and ineffective columns. So let's go back to my original 6. So we have a class of 23 students. And then here's the verbiage as defined in the RISE rubric. The language for highly effective is in the high bucket, you get almost all the students. In the medium bucket, you get almost all the students. And you get most of the students in the low bucket. That's how you get highly effective on the SLO. Effective is very similar. It's almost all of the high, almost all of the medium, and many of the low students. Improvement necessary, you get most of the high, most of the medium, and few of the low. And ineffective is you get few in each category. Now, before we had this spreadsheet, those terms were subject to everyone's individual interpretation. Digging closer into the RISE rubric, they define each of these categories. So according to RISE, almost all means from 80% to 99% of the students in that bucket. Most of the students means 61% to 79% of those students. Many means 41 to 60, and few means 40% or lower. So we now have these ranges created by the RISE rubric to help us define what almost all, most, many, and few actually means in terms of our student breakdown. So what I have over here, because even this range is not definitive, 80% and 99% are very different. You can adjust the percent you want to use in each range. So right now for almost all, I have it right in the middle at 90%. That's right between 80 and 99. All 4 of these I have right in the middle, except for few, I have it set at 30. Again, we would recommend you can keep these numbers. You can always change them. If you want to make it difficult and challenging for yourself, you can put them at the high end of your bracket. As you can see, what that does is that changes the number of students in each category. So let's go back to 90, 70, 50, and 30. So if we keep those percents where they at, if you have a class of 23 students that are broken down into 8 students that are high, 9 medium, and 6 low, to get highly effective, you need 19.5 of those 23 students to pass or master your assessment, whatever your goal is, to achieve your goal. To get effective, you need 18.3. Again, you can round these to whole students, obviously, but it'd be about 18 students to get effective, 18 out of 23. To get improvement necessary would be 13.7, or again, probably 14 out of 23. And 7 out of 23 would give you an ineffective. Let's change this a little bit. Let's say you've got a really low class. So you've got 15 low students, and then let's say you've got 5 medium and 2 high. So class of 22, but it's a pretty low class. As you can see, these numbers are adjusted. So to get highly effective would be 17 out of 22. To get effective would be 14 out of 22. Improvement necessary would be 9 out of 22, and ineffective would be about 7 out of 22. So this spreadsheet will help you with your SLO breakdown of how many students you need to achieve your goal in to get a highly effective, how many to get effective, and so on. Again, the goal of this is to help make that process easier, so your SLO can get improved or get approved right away. Again, all you need to input is stuff in the yellow boxes, the student breakdown, and the percentages within those ranges if you want to adjust those. Thanks.